Why are you crying?
He was my friend.
No, he wasn't. Didn't you listen to him?
He was no one.
But if you're... Who's this?
No one at all. Just as a girl should have been before she took a face from the hall. The faces are for no one. You are still someone. And to someone, the faces are as good as poison.
I can't see! What's happening? What's happening?
Hello everybody and welcome to the Whiskey Dictionary. Tonight I'm going to continue on with my Game of Thrones series with Dalwhinnie's Winter's Frost. Now, I love the name, and what I love more, and I don't know why Diageo did this is the only Game of Thrones whiskey that actually has a cool name. All the other ones are just like, you know, whatever brand it is, Reserve, or something lame like that. This just embraced it. It said, freaking Winter's Frost, yeah, you know? So I love that. Anyway, Dalwhinnie kind of made a good choice at least. But Dalwhinnie was chosen for its northern location, and obviously this is indicative of Winterfell. And, you know, Dalwhinnie is up north, it's cold, it's remote, it's got a high elevation, sounds a lot like Winterfell. And Winterfell is the home of the Starks. Now, anybody who's seen Game of Thrones knows at least a few of the Starks. Even if you've just randomly seen an episode, there's gonna be a Stark in, I think, pretty much every episode. So, they are, in my mind, kind of the main characters, them along with the Lannisters. But they are, in fact, in my mind, the lifeblood of the show. So a lot of the best moments in the show tend to happen to or with the Starks, and the gods seem to freaking hate them. Anyway, so my thought was that this was likely to be one of the most popular whiskeys from this line, and when I looked it up, it's true. You know, a lot of people started with this one. It might have been if they only bought one and they couldn't get their hands on the Night's Watch just because that's one of the coolest looking bottles, they pretty much bought this one. So some people might have bought the Lagavulin 9 just because they recognize the name as well. But anyway, let's, oh yeah, one thing I want to talk about. So if you guys at home, if any of you bought this, I'd be interested to know if any of your Game of Thrones bottles had this problem. Bottom came right out as I was carrying it too. Luckily I managed to catch it with my foot. So anyway, let me go ahead and pour this out and then we'll give it a nose and a taste. Now, if you're worried about the fact that this is just kind of a brand new pour, don't worry, I take most of my notes ahead of time. I always, you know, ad-lib a little bit during the episodes, but you don't need to worry that, oh my gosh, he just poured it, he's not going to get stuff. I hear that sometimes. But anyway, let's go ahead and give this a nose. There's a little bit of a graininess there, which I'm not psyched about. I mean, it's 43%, which is great, but it is in fact a no-age statement. So it's got, you know, at the least it's 3 years old, probably pretty close to that, just based off, you know, the popularity of the show, maybe planning for it, whatever. I would guess it's pretty close to 3 years. It smells a little bit young. So, a couple of the things that you're getting though are kind of a raw honey nose. You're getting some apple. You're also getting a little bit of like a spicy note. Very, very mild spice though. I want to say there's like this is where the ad-libbing comes in. I almost want to say there's like a graham crackery nose to this, which is interesting because I've gotten that a few times in these Game of Thrones whiskeys. So, and then there's something else, which this one, I will straight up say this was not I did not get this. I read this somewhere on a blog while looking for additional notes, because another thing I like to do is I compare my notes with others because I am doing a whiskey related YouTube channel. And if there's something obvious I'm missing that you guys might pick up that I'm not, I would like to know so I can try to nose it, confirm it myself. If I get it, I tell you. So anyway, this is one that I would not have picked up myself, or at least not been able to identify. There is a smell of copper in this whiskey. And that is very interesting because I don't think I've gotten that before. It's almost a combination of that younger type of whiskey smell and just straight up copper. So very weird. All right, let's go ahead and take a drink and see what it tastes like. Cheers. Little disappointing. Actually, quite disappointing. I'm gonna put this better than the Tullys, better than the Singleton, but it's a letdown. Just tasting this, I think it's a letdown. I don't get this one, right? So they're the Lannisters. They're up north. It's frozen. It's winter's frost, right? Why is it kind of light and fruity, right? Like, does that make any sense to you? I don't think so. This could have been something. I'm trying to think if like a smoky whiskey would have made more sense here, probably. But more so, like, nothing about this drink reminds me of the Starks, and I just can't imagine that this would have been something they would want. Anyway, that's just kind of going a little into it. But as far as the taste goes, it's once again, it's got a little bit of honey on the finish. That's about it. But for me, it's just really grainy. It's really young tasting, and this needed to spend more time in a barrel. It needed to mellow out a little bit. I can't even get a whole lot more off the taste here. It's just kind of like acrid. It's not great. So anyway, you know what? Hold on. I'm not gonna give up yet. I'm gonna see if I can get something else. I'm gonna put a little bit of water in here, and just kind of see, because frankly, I can't believe that it tastes like this, and that this is what they wanted to sell. So let's try this. Water brings out a little bit of apple. Cuts down a little bit on that new, new grainy taste. Takes a little bit of the edge off, but it's still not good. But if you do decide to drink this, add a little bit of water. It will make a big difference. So, all right, thank you for joining me here on the Whiskey Dictionary. Hopefully the next episode is a little bit tastier. Cheers.